Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So, we got another email from our lovely ghoul of the north, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
So thank you again, Ashley, for writing in. She gave me a bunch of suggestions that I am going to attempt to look into, see how that goes. But she also gave us, her dad visited her, she thinks. So I wanted to read that real quick. She says, I had a check-in from my dad recently, which I wanted to share. A few weeks ago, I was helping my little brother move into his new apartment out of our hometown and closer to me. It's a small basement apartment, but it's all he needs, and it's closer to me now, so I can check in on him whenever I can/want. As we are unpacking, I begin to fiddle with the radio to find a station and break the awkward silence. Scrolling through, I come across the only station that comes in clear and select it. A few seconds later, Billy Joel starts coming out of the radio, and I know it's my dad.
Aww.
I smiled to myself and stood there for a second. He must be happy I'm helping my brother. I made sure to stay later after everyone left and made sure that my brother was settled, and we had a nice talk about our family and our dad. It was the first time in years we'd been able to talk about him and not cry or fight. I know my dad is watching over me. I just have to be aware of the signs when they come in.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I love it. I've been seeing our mom's birthday on the clock twice a day, every day again.
Oh,
so it's always 11:18, and I'm like, Mama. Every time.
Yep.
So, I love it. So, again, thank you for your suggestions. And again, I'm going to be talking about those probably in the next coming
And thank you for writing in.
Yes, thank you, Ashley.
We really, really, really appreciate that.
We do. Absolutely. So, write in, anybody. We want to hear from you. Everyone has a story. We want to hear it. ghoulsnightoutpodcast@gmail.com. And I have a stupid joke.
Okay.
What part of the street do vampires live on?
Don't know.
The dead end.
Oh my God. That's where I want to live.
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of went back to some old stuff here, and I have some facts for the beginning.
Yay!
Since I'm having issues. Okay, number one, Mr. Rogers always mentioned out loud that he was feeding his fish because a young blind viewer once asked him to do so. She wanted to know the fish were okay.
Aww. I love Mr. Rogers.
Oh my gosh, I know. And that movie with Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers is coming out soon.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I used to watch Mr. Rogers every day.
I did too. I loved it.
I did too. Loved it. Okay. Boring, Oregon, and Dull, Scotland have been sister cities since 2012. In 2017, they added Blandshire, Australia, to their League of Extraordinary Communities.
Oh my God.
So boring, dull, and bland.
That's great.
That's what this town should be named.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, next one. Amelia Earhart and Eleanor Roosevelt once sneaked out of a White House event, commandeered an airplane, and went on a joyride to Baltimore. Isn't that the best?
That's awesome. Can't just take a car.
Well, yeah, it's Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, really.
I mean, come on. Okay, this one is totally gross. Guinness estimates that 93,000 liters of beer are lost in facial hair each year.
Ew.
In the UK alone. Ew.
That's so gross.
You know, I did hear that guys' beards is like dirtier than like dog hair.
Oh, and I saw on the news this morning that razor sales have went way down because of the millennials that have beards.
Oh,
they don't
my
shave
gosh.
anymore.
Oh,
so
my
the sales
gosh.
are going down
That's hilarious.
on razors. Which I have to say, I really do. I like the look of a beard.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But yeah, they're gross.
Yeah, they're nasty. If you don't take care of it.
Yeah.
Some guys actually take care of it and wash it.
Well, yeah, they probably wash it every day. And
Yeah, exactly.
Trim it. And,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But the long, gross ones, oh no.
Yeah. And like pouring beer into it. Ew. Okay. Next one. Some cats are allergic to humans.
Oh, that's funny.
I know. I wonder what happens when they're allergic to a human. I wonder if they sneeze.
Probably.
Oh.
Their eyes start watering and their nose
Very,
starts running.
very interesting. I wonder if it's our dandruff. Oh, God.
It's like we have to find you a person with no dandruff.
That's weird. That's...
How would you even know that the cat's actually allergic to you, though?
I don't know. And would you there's nobody knows that.
Yeah,
So they wouldn't
the
be like,
cat
"Oh,
can't
no."
say, "Oh, I'm allergic to you. Stay away from me."
Yeah. And they wouldn't be like, "Oh no, the cat sneezes every time it's around me."
Yeah, no one's gonna notice that.
Yeah. You'd be like, "Oh, the cat has a cold again." I don't know, that's weird. Queen Elizabeth II is a trained mechanic.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need help with my car, I think.
I don't know anything.
I don't either. It's really bad.
I know. Oh well.
Maybe we can YouTube it.
Can't everything else.
Yeah, really. I bet we can. Anyway, ravens in captivity can learn to talk better than parrots. You know, they're like the 12th.
Oh yeah, they're
Really super smart.
There was something I read today, I think it might have been on Facebook, that I think it was ravens or maybe it was crows, but they would collect nuts
I read that
and they
too.
would put it in the middle of the road so the cars can run over them and open them, and then
Yeah.
they would go and eat what's out in the middle.
Super smart.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. Reminds me of the birds.
Oh man, that movie was awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Loved that movie.
Scared the shit out of me.
It was. I know it was scary.
Okay.
Damn birds. I hate birds.
I know. Ugh. Yeah, they're disgusting. Anyway, Bela Lugosi was buried in full Dracula costume, cape and all.
Oh, dude,
This one's
just sad.
I know. But that's kind of cool.
No,
I
sad.
I'd wear a cape to the fire chamber.
You're such a dog.
I plan on being cremated, so nobody's burying
okay.
me. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, this one is very useful if you live or visit New York and go to Central Park, because Central Park's lampposts contain a set of 4 numbers that can help you navigate. The first 2 tell the nearest street, and the next 2 tell whether you're closer to the east or west side of the park. Even numbers signal the east side, odd signals west.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so lampposts.
I take it Central Park is huge.
It is. Have you ever seen a picture of Central Park? Like, look up an aerial view of it.
Yeah.
It's literally a park in just the middle of a giant city. It's crazy looking. I mean, we're used to green and more green
Yeah.
and green and
Yeah.
green, and it is not like that there at all. It's crazy. Look it up.
Okay.
I'll look it up when I'm done with this and show you a picture. It's really cool, but it's literally Central Park because it's just in the middle of, and it's huge. So, okay, an estimated 1 million dogs in the U.S. have been named primary beneficiaries in their owner's will.
Oh my gosh. How in the hell is a dog going to spend money?
I know. That's really stupid. And yeah, seriously, what would even happen to that money?
I don't know. They would have to have like an executor,
Yeah.
but what's a dog? I need some.
Especially
diamond
when
collar.
it dies.
I don't know. It's just people are stupid.
Yeah,
People are
dogs.
stupid.
And I
If you wanted to go for an animal, give it to a shelter, an animal shelter or
like
something.
something that will actually be useful.
Yeah.
And I could understand someone, specifically wanting their pet to be taken care of for the rest of its life after they die.
Yeah.
That's totally reasonable, but
First of all, animals don't live that long.
yeah.
Second of all, you're right. What happens after it dies?
Yeah, where does that money go? I want to know.
The dog isn't going to spend it, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my God, yeah. People don't do that. Send it to me. Like,
I could use some.
I would, and I will honor you however you want. Just give me your money. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. The Russians showed up 12 days late to the 1908 Olympics in London because they were using the Julian calendar instead of the Gregorian calendar. Which I thought was really funny.
What? There's different calendars?
Well, this was 1908.
Oh.
So I think back then there were two different calendars. But yeah, they were 12 days late. Could you imagine them being like, hey, we're here, everybody.
You lost everything.
Goodbye. J.K. Simmons has been the voice of the yellow peanut M&M since the late 1990s.
Aww.
I love that guy. He's a good actor. In Great Britain and Japan, black cats are perceived as auspicious. In the English Midlands, new brides are given black cats to bless their marriage, and the Japanese believe black cats are good luck, particularly for single women.
That's because black cats are awesome.
They are awesome and they're beautiful.
Yes, they are.
I kind of want one, but I don't want another cat.
I wanted one.
Oh, yeah. You got Odin instead.
Yes. He was free.
He's dark.
So, yes, he's got black and gray and tan.
Yeah, brown too, like a darker brown, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. He's cute.
He is cute. He's big.
He's a turd.
Yes. Portland was named by a coin flip. Had the coin landed on the other way, the city would be Boston, Oregon.
What was it? Wait, say that again.
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Was named by a coin flip.
Okay.
Next one, during World War I, a Canadian soldier made a black bear his pet and named her Winnipeg, or Winnie for short. Was later a resident of London, of the London Zoological Gardens, where she was an adored attraction, especially to a boy named Christopher Robin, the son of author A.A. Milne. The boy even named his teddy bear after her.
Aww.
Winnie the Pooh and
Winnie
Christopher
the
Robin too. Neil Armstrong's astronaut application arrived a week past the deadline. A friend slipped the tardy form in with the others.
That's cool.
Okay, I'm hoping I pronounced this right, but the manchineel tree is nicknamed the Tree of Death for good reason. Touching it can leave chemical burns on your skin. Its fruit is toxic, and its bark, when burned, can cause blindness.
Wow. Where's that tree at? I want to stay far away.
I don't know, and yeah, we should look that up, see what it looks like.
I picture a black, gnarly tree.
Yeah, that's exactly what I picture too, but it probably looks like just a normal freaking tree, which makes it even more
Probably
scary.
has like really pretty flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
on it.
Look at me, I'm beautiful. Touch me and I will kill you. Okay, this one's super cool. If drivers adhere to the 45 mile per hour speed limit on a stretch of Route 66 in New Mexico, the road's rumble strips will play a rendition of America the Beautiful.
Are you serious?
That's what it says on the paper I have here.
Are they pulling our leg?
I don't know, but isn't that cool?
That would be cool.
Yeah, if it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally cool.
But nobody ever goes the speed limit,
I
so
know.
nobody would ever hear it.
Okay. Before settling on the 7 dwarfs we know today, Disney considered Chesty, Tubby, Burpy,
Oh my god.
Daffy,
Daffy?
Hickey, wheezy, and awful.
It's a good thing they changed it. Someone probably came in and be like, what the fuck?
Chesty? I mean, why? Did the dwarf have boobs?
I don't know.
That would be interesting. Maybe he would be like
Hickey.
battling with Snow White on who has the biggest or nicest boobs.
I don't know.
Hickey?
That's stupid.
Deffy? What is that?
Whoever came up with
And
those.
Burpee? What would he do? Like,
Yeah.
that's inappropriate. And awful? I mean, come on.
That's just mean.
Okay. The annual number of worldwide shark bites is 10 times less than the number of people bitten by other people in New York.
Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me?
And that's why I will never go to New York.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm an introvert. Nothing against New York. After the Outcast, let me start that over. After Outkast sang "Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture," Polaroid released a statement: shaking or waving can actually damage the image.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Seriously?
That's, again, this...
Polaroid, come on.
I know, right? I don't know. They gotta cover their ass, I guess. I don't know.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. I liked that song when it came out.
Oh, what was it, the 90s? Early No.
I'm gonna suck on it. I'm not gonna chew it.
Alright. Dogs are capable of understanding up to 250 words and gestures. The average dog is as intelligent as a 2-year-old child.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, dogs.
Because dogs are good. They're smart, but they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Bubbles keep your bath water warmer longer.
Huh. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. That makes sense, though. I mean, if you think about it.
Kind of
And
like
if they're-
insulation.
Yeah. And if your bubbles stay,
Yeah.
you know. Scientists have found evidence of takeout restaurants in the remains of Pompeii.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what it says here on this paper I have again. Who knows?
How would they know?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, like fast food bags. I don't know. Like the
Pompeii did not have fast food bags.
I have no idea.
You see the arches it made it out of stone on top of their cave. The 3 sold.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It takes them so long to carve out each bag so they can only sell like one a year. Okay, I don't know. It's just what it says. Okay. After It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown aired, Charles Schultz was overwhelmed with candy shipments sent from kids who were concerned for Charlie, who got rocks instead of treats in his Halloween sack. Oh, that was my last one.
Kids can be so sweet sometimes.
I know. It's actually, I mean, yeah, they're sweet. I'll just leave it at that.
I said sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be definitely turds, but
Yes.
okay, that was my last one.
All right. This week I did Ghosts of Kentucky.
Ooh, these are really close. So that's spooky.
Yeah, it's not very far away.
Yeah. Not to us.
The Brennan House. The Brennan House is a 3-story Victorian-style residence that was built in 1868 for Thomas and Anna Brennan and their family of 8 children. This was their dream home, and they cared very deeply for it, both in life and after their death. Visitors have reported seeing a number of different apparitions around the house, and it is common for the spirits to manifest in photographs taken on the property. 2 of the Brennan girls, Beulah and May, were musically talented, and they have been known to entertain visitors with piano and violin music. Meanwhile, Dr. John Brennan, one of the sons, makes his presence known via the smell of his cigar smoke.
Holy shit, so that's like phantom music again.
Yeah.
I would freak out if just music started playing out of nowhere.
Yeah, that would be weird.
It's so weird.
Several visitors have also captured a face in their photographs, which looks a great deal like Mr. Thomas Brennan himself.
Oh no. Was selfie bomb or photo bomb?
Yeah. The Brown Hotel. The Brown Hotel is an impressive building that spans 16 stories and boasts a total of 293 rooms. It was built in 1923 by J. Graham Brown, who also lived in the penthouse suite of the hotel right up until his death in 1969. In life, Mr. Brown believed in offering the very best in customer service, and it seems that he has not given up that idea even following his death. It is very common for Mr. Brown's spirit to make an appearance during busy times at the hotel, including Derby Week, and during receptions and conventions being held at the hotel. His apparition usually appears standing in what was his favorite spot under the arch in the mezzanine, where he is able to survey the hotel, ensuring that guests have everything they need. A number of staff say they have locked eyes with the ghost, at which point he may or may not nod his approval before vanishing, leaving behind the faint smell of his favorite cigars.
That is crazy. To lock eyes with a ghost.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
First Church of Christ Scientist.
What?
That's what it says. The First Church of Christ Scientist is home to a pretty famous apparition that has come to be known as the Lady of the Stairs. Those who have seen her describe her as a beautiful young woman who is dressed in a white gown and a gray silk shawl. She's usually seen pacing around in a nervous fashion and is often said to appear distraught. Some witnesses have even heard her crying. It is believed that she is so upset due to a tragic misunderstanding regarding her fiancé. The pair were said to have planned to elope during the flu epidemic of 1918, but he never showed up to meet her. The girl waited for hours in the cold night air and ironically ended up contracting the flu. Completely unbeknownst to her, the reason her love did not arrive at the designated meeting spot was that he too had contracted the deadly flu virus and was unable to come to her. Mm-hmm. Within 3 days, both of them were dead.
Oh, shit.
The lady is said to remain at the church, still waiting on the arrival of her sweetheart.
Oh, that's sad.
That is a sad story. Seelbach Hilton Hotel. The Seelbach Hilton is probably one of the most luxurious hotels in Louisville. It also happens to be one of the most haunted. The hotel dates back to around 1903, and over the years, staff members and guests alike have encountered a variety of paranormal activity. One of the most common reports is of televisions turning on at full volume at exactly 4 a.m., and also the sound of running footsteps when nobody is there. However, the most well-known spirit that is said to remain in residence at the Seelbach Hotel is the Lady in Blue. There are a number of variations of her story, and it is not clear which one is most accurate. But the key points that most people agree on are that her name is Patricia Wilson, and that she fell to her death in one of the hotel's elevator shafts.
Oh, God.
Depending on which version of the story you choose to believe, she may have been pushed, fallen by accident, or taken her own life. Those who have seen the Lady in Blue describe Patricia as a pretty lady with long dark hair and a beautiful blue dress. She is most often spotted on the 8th floor and close to the mezzanine elevators.
Lady in Blue isn't that common.
No, it's usually white.
Or red.
Yeah. The Belle of Louisville. One of the most haunted places in Louisville, Kentucky is the Belle of Louisville, a well-known steamboat that is considered to be one of the city's crowning jewels. The ship was previously known as the Idlewind, and during World War II, Captain Ben Winters apparently decided to install some gaming tables and slot machines on the ship. However, it was soon raided by authorities and the captain suffered a heart attack during it. He passed away in his cabin, but according to employees and visitors, he certainly did not leave. A number of strange occurrences have been reported in the years since his death, including the main wheel in the pilot house moving on its own, despite the bridge being locked down, and several crew members have seen the captain in his dress uniform around the ship. Captain Winters is by no means the only spirit haunting the Belle of Louisville. There are also reports of a deckhand named Floyd hanging around. Floyd was crushed to death by one of the pitman arms that controls the paddle wheel, and ever since the crew say they can hear Floyd whistling a jaunty tune just like he was known to do when alive.
Oh my God. That sucks.
Cave Hill Cemetery. Louisville's Cave Hill Cemetery is the largest Victorian-era cemetery in the United States that remains in a good state of repair. It was established in 1848, and among those buried there are the earthly remains of both Union and Confederate soldiers. The cemetery is also considered to be one of the most haunted places in Louisville. Among the reports of paranormal activity linked to this particular burial ground are sudden blasts of icy cold air, unexplained light anomalies, and disembodied whispers when nobody else is around. Most witnesses who have braved the cemetery at night describe a floating green light flitting around between the headstones, and others say that they have heard a number of strange noises, including what sounds like headstones being knocked over.
That's creepy.
Yes. Louisville Palace Theater. When it was originally built back in 1928, Louisville Palace Theater was known as the Loew's Theater. These days, it is considered to be one of the most haunted places in Louisville. There are a number of different spirits who are said to call Louisville Palace Theater home, including a faceless woman in 40s attire, a man in 30s style dress, and a small giggling child.
What?
However, the most well-known spirit that haunts the Louisville Palace Theater is Fred, the former chief engineer from back when the theater was known as Loew's. In 1965, he actually died of a massive heart attack in the basement of the theater, where he had been working for nearly 40 years. He is seen all over the building dressed in his uniform and a flat-top hat. Those who have seen the apparition have confirmed via photos of the man during his life that this is indeed Fred.
I wonder what he was doing in the basement. I wonder if that's where he lived, or...
I don't know. He is most often encountered making his rounds in the evenings, though on one occasion during renovation work, he apparently saved a construction worker's life by waking him up just before he fell from the scaffolding where he was napping.
Holy shit, why would you take a nap on scaffolding?
Really?
That's really not smart.
No, not at all. Phoenix Hill Tavern. The Phoenix Hill Tavern is another one of the The Phoenix Hill Tavern is another one of the haunted hotspots that Louisville has to offer. Staff have reported hearing the sound of someone walking down the stairs and footsteps traveling across the floor when nobody is there. There are also frequent cold spots, and staff have frequently noticed strange white flashes in the mirrors. Perhaps the most compelling reports of paranormal activity come out of the Phoenix Hill Tavern is that objects regularly move by themselves or disappear completely.
Well, that's not very nice.
Where do they go?
Exactly.
Old Louisville. Old Louisville is one of the city's most historic districts. The Victorian suburb was built in the 1870s and is one of the largest preservation districts in the United States. It is a beautiful area to visit, but during the tuberculosis epidemic, a large number of residents died and many of the homes were burned to prevent the spread of the disease. That probably explains why so many spirits are seen wandering around the area day and night. Local police say that they have lost count of the number of times they have been called to investigate intruders seen wandering into houses dressed in Victorian clothing.
Oh my God.
That is creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And then we have the Diamond, Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Ah, yes.
That is the diamond of the haunted places. I already did that one. This is Waverly Hills Sanatorium. If you have any kind of interest in the paranormal, then you probably know all about Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It is probably one of the most famous haunted buildings in the entire United States, so of course it tops our list of the most haunted places in Louisville, Kentucky. The former tuberculosis hospital has seen thousands of deaths, an estimated 63,000 over the years, and has been featured on just about every paranormal-themed television show there is. Ghostly figures, disembodied screams, and other unexplained noises have been reported in just about every inch of this hospital. Of all the paranormal hotspots in the building, the main focal point seems to be the so-called death tunnel, which was used to transport the dead bodies out of the hospital. Other well-known spots include room number 502, which is where a pregnant nurse took her own life and still haunts the building. And there's also a little boy named Timmy who will frequently play with balls and other toys that visitors bring for him. And then there's just a list of some of the areas and a little description. So Timmy, the boy ghost. One of the most popular ghosts is a child named Timmy. According to legend, Timmy was a 6 or 7-year-old boy who died in Waverly, but is still unable to move on to the next life. Visitors who go to Waverly often bring with them toy balls to entice Timmy to play with them. The ball will sometimes move on its own. However, non-believers could say that it's just because of a draft or uneven floors.
I wonder why he's unable to move on. I wonder if maybe he's confused or...
I don't know.
That's so sad.
I wonder if he was like an orphan or if like a mom was there with him and maybe she died and he doesn't know where she's at or something.
He's still looking for her?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is horrible.
Yes, it is. Room 502. Room 502 is one of the hot spots for paranormal activity. It is said that a pregnant nurse allegedly committed suicide in this room. According to legend, the nurse was impregnated by a doctor in the sanatorium, and when he wanted nothing to do with her or the baby to be, she decided to hang herself. Other versions of the story say that it was the hospital owner who impregnated the nurse.
What a dick.
And then the Death Tunnel. The Death Tunnel is a part of Waverly which is very popular. It is an underground tunnel which leads from the main entrance to the bottom of a steep hill. It was used as means to receive supplies, but it was also used to transport bodies, of which there were many. The tunnel was used to remove the dead without upsetting the other patients. Visitors often say they can hear unexplained footsteps and disembodied voices in the tunnel. The building now caters for ghost hunters, with many opting to enjoy the tour and stay the night.
I wouldn't stay the night.
No. And then I did some creepy Kentucky urban legends.
Okay.
The Hillbilly Beast dates back to Daniel Boone's day. The tales describe it as a hairy, smelly Bigfoot-like being that howls. This legend was featured on the 4th season of History Channel's Monsters.
Ew.
The legend of Hot Rod Haven dates back to the 50s. A young couple was on their way to a dance and speeding down Mitchell Hill Road, as common both back then and now. Their car crashed and the couple was killed. The cemetery at the top of the hill is home to the Mitchell and Griffin families. It is where the couple's bodies were laid to rest together. The young girl is said to walk the roads in search of something, perhaps a trinket she lost during the accident.
Holy shit, that's creepy.
The Kentucky legends of Sleepy Hollow don't involve a headless horseman, but instead a creepy hearse and ghostly cries. The lore tells us that in Prospect, a hearse appears from thin air and runs drivers off the road. They also say sounds of crying can be heard from what was once the Crybaby Bridge. It is said that decades ago a woman would throw their unwanted or sickly children off the sides to their death. Time warps have also been experienced. Drivers claim to enter the road at one time and exit several hours later, according to the time. That's weird.
Yeah.
In northern Kentucky stands the Cody Road Railroad Bridge. Unfortunately, there is severe flooding there, and decades ago, a woman... That sounded funny. Decades ago, a woman is rumored to either have drowned or committed suicide during a flood. Now iron gates are attached at either side that automatically close with a stop sign during flooding. They came too late, though, as supposedly a woman's voice can be heard crying and calling out during floods.
That's sad. Which probably means she didn't commit suicide.
Probably not. A ghostly police officer supposedly likes to patrol Narrows Road in Erlanger, Kentucky. In the 1950s, an officer was hit by another vehicle during a routine traffic stop. Now he pulls people over in the same vehicle but disappears as he walks to the person's car or away from it. He is said to sometimes talk to people he pulls over.
No.
That would be
No
so
fucking way.
freaky. But you'd be like, whew.
Yeah.
Ticket's not real.
Oh my gosh, that's creepy.
In Fisherville, the Norfolk Southern Railroad trestle runs over Floyd's Fork River. It has been said that Goatman lives underneath the trestle and calls out in a childlike voice for help.
What?
Those who go to help are found dead or not heard from again.
In a
so the legend says.
In a childlike
Yes.
voice? Ew.
Yeah,
No.
that's creepy.
Oh my god. That's just beyond fucked up. Only something super fucked up would do that.
Ellesmere, Kentucky is home to the Allendale Trailer Park, and behind it in the woods is the Allendale Train Tunnel. Legend has it a man hung himself from a hook above the tunnel. Some say his ghost appears swinging from above the tunnel. Others say he walks the tunnels and screams can be heard echoing through it. Iroquois Park in Louisville, Kentucky is a woodland gem in the heart of the South End. The lush green forest is filled with twisting trails of varying lengths where people hike, walk, and bike. Legend has it that in the 1800s, a settler and his wife lived there. The woman was home alone when supposedly Indians attacked. They killed the family dog first, then beheaded the woman and burned down the cabin. It is said that at times a thick fog overtakes the trails filled with the stench of smoke. Afterwards, a woman in 1800s clothing can be seen walking, covered in blood and carrying her severed head.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I would die. If I saw that. What? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. Hogan's Fountain in Louisville's renowned Cherokee Park is home to a finely crafted statue of Pan. For decades, late-night park visitors have claimed that on a full moon, Pan goes for a stroll. These nights are told to be filled with mischief, like car damage and other annoying acts. Near the Child's Witch's Grave site, another dark spirit looms known as the Pilot's Knob Watcher. This presence encourages a quickened pace and makes the hair on the back of the neck stand up. It seems to loom around the child's iron prison, making its presence known to those who go there after dark. Some say it guards the spirit of the girl, others say it waits to snatch the child's spirit, dragging it into a darker place. Local residents avoid the area and seem somewhat frightened to speak of it, unlike most keepers of urban legends. And then my last one, people were once, and some still are, a very suspicious lot. In the late 1900s, small-town folk could be the worst. In the rural county of Marion lies a small town called Pilot's Knob. In the 1900s, a woman and her 6-year-old daughter were accused of witchcraft, but their trial was forgone. Instead, the townsfolk burned them both at the stake. They feared the repercussions of their judgment and took precautions to prevent the child from returning. The child lays in a steel-lined grave, but dirt was replaced with concrete and gravel. They then put an interconnecting cross fence so that her spirit would be trapped within the borders. Today the fence is wrought iron and has several spots that look to be pushed out from the inside by a powerful force. Small footprints can often be seen in the gravel as well, according to those who visited the site. The child witch can supposedly pull people down into her grave. Local residents seem fearful of this place.
What the fuck?
That's crazy. Where was that? Marion? Town called Pilot's Knob.
That's crazy. Why would they go to that length for a 6-year-old little girl?
They're stupid.
I know, but I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, well, this week, the first two I have are people who live like out in the middle of nowhere, have creepy stories, and then the rest of them, I believe, are like hikers.
Okay.
So it's all in the woods or like out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so when we first moved in here, I kept thinking I'd hear someone walking in the house while I was alone. It's a flood zone, so the house is on stilts, so you can hear footsteps when anyone walks across the floor. Of course, this is in Texas, so I'd grab my handgun and go see if someone had come in. Also, my mother-in-law has a key, and when she drops in to leave things for the family, she sometimes won't relock the door. I kept feeling like I was going to walk into a room and someone would be there. Just feeling oddly watched all day for a few days. My husband didn't think anything of it, and one night He jumped out of bed, grabbed his handgun, and started going through the house, opening all the doors. He said he heard banging in the kitchen like someone was going through the pantry. He was adamant that he heard someone, nothing, and the doors were still locked. My niece got home from her grandmother's house, and a few nights later asked if she could sleep on the cot in our room. She's a teenager, not a small kid, so I asked her what was wrong. She didn't want to tell us because we wouldn't believe her. Just that she didn't want to be alone. She said she heard banging in the kitchen, and when she heard that, or felt like someone was in the house, she would see a man in the window of her room, so she basically noped out of there and came to us. We let her stay, and the next day we were all a little uneasy. My husband, a notorious non-believer in the paranormal, came in looking shaken and said he had closed her door after bringing her laundry into the room, and a man had been smiling at him in the window.
Oh my God.
The windows on the house were almost 20 feet in the air because of the stilts the house sits on.
Oh my gosh. I'd be, I'll move out of that house. No way.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, how the fuck would that even happen?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Next one, my husband works nights, so I'd be alone on a huge acreage. One night, I go into the kitchen and make tea, and I look outside to see the moon, and there is a face on the other side of the window.
Oh my God.
I scream, and it wakes up my aging husky, who starts to howl. The dude bolts. I call the cops and wait forever locked in my pantry. Next day, my husband and I ride on horseback on our whole property. We find a small makeshift cabin on the northwest corner. We find stuff stolen from our laundry line and canned stuff from our kitchen.
Oh.
He had pinned up selfies in the cabin he had taken while in our bed and sitting on our daughter's child-sized dinner table.
Oh my gosh.
So who knows how long this guy had been coming in, when he had been coming in. Oh my gosh. That is fucked up.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the next ones are the ones, it looks like they're just in the woods, like people in the woods.
Okay.
So I was biking in the woods on my way home in 7th grade when I passed a man wearing a Ku Klux Klan hat with eye holes and nothing else. He was masturbating.
Ew.
This traumatized me for years.
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting. What the fuck? What is wrong with people? Hiking the AT in PA. I don't know what the fuck I just said. For a week, my brother and I came across a young man who had hung himself.
Oh.
We sprinted up the bluff where he was strung up. I wrapped my arms around his waist to take the weight off of his neck while my brother cut him down with his knife. The guy had thrown the rope over a tall branch and lashed it off with a clove hitch at the truck line where you'd hang a bear bag. I just said a bunch of
That
shit.
was in a foreign language.
Yeah, so
I don't understand.
I didn't understand that either. Anyway, must have climbed the branches and dropped one laced in. We probably shouldn't have even tried. He was dead for some time before we happened across him. Fortunately, no critters had come to tear him apart before we found him. It would have only gotten grislier. We called 911. This ended our trip pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one, my two friends and I were hiking in a pretty popular spot with a 150-foot waterfall that takes about 45 minutes of uphill hiking. We decided to go to the bottom of the waterfall where there were various little pools and boulders, and the water runs off of the waterfall. This is not on the main trail, and not many hikers ever veer off of the main trail. We found a 22-year-old girl face down in the mud, both legs broken with compound fractures.
Aww.
She had no cell phone, no water, no food, and nothing to keep her warm. Her friend was already dead. We called 911 and gave her any supplies we had. Eventually, the helicopter showed up and they flew her to the nearest hospital. It turns out she was hiking with her friend the night before when they both fell off of the waterfall. Her friend must have gone to get help, but unfortunately died less than 100 yards from where we found the girl, so no one knew she was hurt or where she even was. It's a miracle she was still alive, and mind-blowing to think that she had gone through what she had gone through when we found her 20 hours later.
Wow.
Good Lord. Just
That would
be
suck
careful.
so bad.
Yeah, That's terrible. My brother and I were hiking in our new backwoods. We had just moved into a new house, and we had stumbled upon a small open grass field. In the center of it, there was a person with a blue jacket crouched over. We thought it was a friend of ours that we had recently met, so I ran to him. I did not have my glasses on, but I got pretty close enough to see that it was a grown man leaned over the carcass of a deer, stabbing it with an unsharpened stick. He looked up and saw me. I was pretty freaked out, so I turned around and yelled at my brother to run, so we started to sprint as fast as we could back home.
That's really creepy.
Yeah, that's really creepy.
Why?
I mean, drugs or mental illness?
Oh, something.
That's insane. Oh my God. And why weren't his glasses on? Because that's not good. You can't see. Next one, I took my young children to a cave not far from our house. It was a popular spot, but we had the place to ourselves. You can walk through it in about 30 minutes without too much difficulty. It has a tiny exit at the opposite end. It was pretty muddy, so we decided to turn around and head back to the entrance. Halfway back, there was a lit candle sitting about 8 feet up one side. It was definitely not there on the first trip. I went into full-on protective dad mode, knowing there was likely someone hiding in the dark while we walked the rest of the way out.
That's bad.
Creepy. A lit candle? I mean, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Well, oh my gosh. Super creepy. And they had to have been watching them go past the first time.
Stay out of the woods.
Yeah, stay out of the woods and caves and
weird people
nature.
In the middle of a clearing for no reason.
Oh my God. Yeah, just stay out of the outside.
Yeah.
Just don't go outside. Everything will be fine. Okay.
As long as your house isn't haunted.
Oh God. We're
can't stay
safe
in my
nowhere.
house. I can't go outside.
Okay. I was hiking in southern Virginia and came to a shelter. At this point, it was about an hour until sundown, and 2 other hikers had already set up camp and gotten a fire going. I decided to sling my tent up and make some dinner. I was sitting there munching on my crappy rehydrated dinner as the sun is going down. As my eyes began to adjust to the... Oh my God, I can't talk. As my eyes began to adjust to the darkness, I glanced over towards the shelter and suddenly realized that I can see the whites of a person's eyes in the shelter. This dude had smeared soot from the fire pit all over his face and body and had been sitting in the shadows watching the other hikers and myself the entire time.
Ew.
I tried to stealthily let the other hikers know what was up and get the hell out of there.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck? That is scary shit. And my last one. This past winter, I hiked up a very high peak with a buddy of mine and camped out overnight. Everything was fine the entire first day we were there. We had a great night's sleep and woke up early to hike back to the parking area. On the way back down the trail, my friend and I noticed that someone else had been hiking as well. About a mile after walking, I stopped and saw that my full name, first and last, was drawn into the snow on the side of a footpath. I didn't do it. Neither did my friend. It was snowing a bit throughout the night, and if it was drawn the day before, the snow would have covered it up. We got a bit freaked out and decided to hustle back to our car so we could get out of there. We finally get back to the parking area, and I went to sign myself out of the registry book. When I turned the page to where I signed in, I see that someone had scribbled out all of my information so you couldn't read it anymore. No one else had signed into the book besides myself for 3 days. I will not be going back there.
What the hell?
What the fuck is that?
And then someone wrote the name in snow?
In the snow. Like,
so weird.
Yeah, what is that? That would creep you. I mean, it's so simple and
Yeah,
like
but
nothing, but it's so something and important and valid and creepy.
Wow.
That is
I
crazy.
wonder if it was someone just messing with him.
I don't know. And if it was, like, that is brilliant and I love it. Those were my stories for the week.
All right. That must mean it's time for the witty wrap-up.
Yay, Witty Wrap-Up.
This week I did funny insults.
Okay, this ought to be
So,
interesting.
If anyone needs some insults, these might be good. Okay. If laughter is the best medicine, your face must be curing the world.
That's super funny.
You're so ugly, you scared the crap out of the toilet. Your family tree must be a cactus because everybody on it is a prick.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. I love it.
No, I'm not insulting you. I'm describing you. It's better to let someone think you're an idiot than to open your mouth and prove it. If I had a face like yours, I'd sue my parents.
Oh, that's bad.
Your birth certificate is an apology letter from the condom factory. I guess you prove that even God makes mistakes sometimes.
Aww.
The only way you'll ever get laid is if you crawl up a chicken's ass and wait.
Oh my God.
You're so fake, Barbie is jealous. I loved Barbie.
Oh my God, I know. I love Barbie too.
I'm jealous of people that don't know you.
That's simple but effective.
Yeah, it is. My psychiatrist told me I was crazy, and I said I want a second opinion. He said, okay, you're ugly too.
Oh, wow.
You're so ugly. When your mom dropped you off at school, she got a fine for littering.
That's mean.
If I wanted to kill myself, I'd climb your ego and jump to your IQ.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You must have been born on a highway because that's where most accidents happen. Brains aren't everything. In your case, they're nothing.
Mean.
I don't know what makes you so stupid, but it really works. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Roses are red, violets are blue. God made me pretty. What happened to you? Behind every fat woman, there is a beautiful woman. No, seriously, you're in the way. Calling you an idiot would be an insult to all the stupid people. You, sir, are an oxygen thief. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Some babies were dropped on their heads, but you were clearly thrown at a wall.
It's horrible.
Don't like my sarcasm? Well, I don't like your stupid.
That's valid.
Why don't you go play in traffic? Please shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I'd slap you, but that would be animal abuse.
Oh.
They say opposites attract. I hope you meet someone who is good looking, intelligent, and cultured. Stop trying to be a smartass. You're just an ass. The last time I saw something flushed. I'm busy now. Can I ignore you some other time? You have diarrhea of the mouth, constipation of the ideas. If ugly were a crime, you'd get a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind is on vacation, but your mouth is working overtime. I can lose weight, but you'll always be ugly. Why don't you slip into something more comfortable, like a coma? Shock me. Say something intelligent.
That's a good one.
If you're going to be two-faced, honey, at least make one of them pretty. Keep rolling your eyes. Perhaps you'll find a brain back there.
Yeah.
You are not as bad as people say. You are much, much worse. I don't know what your problem is, but I'll bet it's hard to pronounce. You get 10 times more girls than me. 10 times 0 is 0.
What?
There's no vaccine against stupidity.
Oh, what if there was, though? That would be great.
Yeah, they would need a lot of it.
Yeah.
You're the reason the gene pool needs a lifeguard. Sure, I've seen people like you before, but I had to pay an admission.
Oh, freak show.
How old are you? Wait, I shouldn't ask. You can't count that high. Have you been shopping lately? They're selling lives. You should get one.
Oh.
You're like Monday mornings. Nobody likes you. Of course I talk like an idiot. How else would you understand me?
What? That doesn't make sense. You're just insulting yourself.
All day I thought of you. I was at the zoo. To make you laugh on Saturday, I need... Which is exactly what it says.
Oh, no.
To make you laugh on Saturday, I need to you joke on Wednesday.
Oh, what?
You're so fat you could sell shade. I'd like to see things from your point of view, but I can't seem to get my head that far up my ass. You're so old. When you were a kid, rainbows were black and white. You're so dumb you think Cheerios are donut seeds.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would totally have like 4 donut trees.
Yeah, me too. You're so old your birth certificate expired.
Oh, that's old.
Every time I'm next to you, I get a fierce desire to be alone. You're so dumb that you got hit by a parked car. People actually do that.
Yeah, totally. And that's old.
You're so fat you leave footprints in concrete. Wipe your mouth. There's still a tiny bit of bullshit around your lips. Don't you have a terribly empty feeling in your skull? And my last one. Are you always this stupid, or is today a special occasion?
I'm going to go with always, usually.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it so much. Again, send us your stories. We want to hear them. We need to hear them. We're talking about reformatting the podcast a little bit if we can't start getting some emails. So, but it'll still be great. You'll love it. Anyway, rate, review, subscribe anywhere you listen. You can look us up on Facebook. We're on there mostly. You can also recommend us on there and rate us on Facebook as well. So we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.